Well, for those of you that are watching this after the fact, you can appreciate this couple seconds until some people actually join the live since I hopped on early. But I just want to let everyone know thanks for watching all the videos this year. The channel's really grown. I've been pleasantly surprised with how many followers I've been able to gain just this year compared to last year. So I'm just really thankful for that. And really, this video is going to be about my top baits from this year. And really, the weird thing about this year was that I caught fish on so few lures, but I caught more bass than I did last year. And the season is not over yet, so there's still some time, certainly, to where I could even increase those numbers. So overall, pretty good. But I guess I will just wait for some people to hop on. I probably shouldn't have done a live on the same night as an Ohio State game, but that's okay. I will wait though until somebody comes on before I really get into my baits. I don't want to jump the gun. So if you're watching this after the fact, you're probably gonna be able to fast forward a little bit until where I actually start talking about the baits and when people get on. But I had the stream set for 8:15, so I'm gonna guess people will be getting on if they are in a few minutes. Oh, this is helpful. Why don't we share it too? Oh, never mind. Okay, so get my oh, voice went funny there for a second. My bait picks together. Like I said, overall, there wasn't a whole lot of variety in what I caught fish on this year. What's going on? But in general, I tend to get into habits where I just kind of throw the same thing until it stops working. But this year, more so than others. I have to say, it was kind of surprising, but I got to a point I want to say it was almost the end of June, where I had not caught that many fish compared to years previous, and they'd almost all come on just one lure. So it was just kind of a weird year in general. So I'll start off with the lures that kind of got me through the beginning part of the year when it was as tough as it got, because even my like typical staples weren't doing it for me. So first one up was a slobber knocker, bladed jig. This one really was the only thing I could get a bite on at the start of the year. I didn't catch very many fish, but the ones I did catch were pretty nice. And then really the rest of the year, it wasn't that great of a lure for me. I caught fish here and there, but I did catch my PB on one, fishing from shore. So it's like the lure was good for me, but I probably didn't even catch 20 bass on it all year, but I caught my PB. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's cool, but it wasn't getting me really anything past June. So, which was kind of weird. But next up would be a lipless crankbait. I caught some fish early on this. Every year in the spring, I catch some bass on a lipless crankbait. Maybe not as many as I had in years previous, but I still caught them. The weather wasn't the best this spring, I would say, and I think that contributed a lot to me missing out on some of the bites. But under 30 fish total for both those lures. If they're my top five, I think you can kind of gather that my next three lures have caught me a lot more fish. So the next one up, I caught. This one gets third place, even though I only caught fish on it over a span of 2 days. And that was a medium diving crankbait. If any of you watched my videos from when I was up in the Rifle River, I went on a tear with this lure in this one spot where I was catching bass and pike back to back, getting multiple bites. I probably caught 20 to 30 fish on this just one medium diving crankbait. And I caught so many, all the feathers that were on it, on the treble hooks, are gone. They were gone by the fifth or sixth fish, but I don't know if that really affected the action or anything, but That's a good indicator that you're catching a lot of fish. But I didn't really throw it the rest of the year. But I brought it out with this combo because this was kind of the combo that was my staple all year, and that's the Sermon 50G 7.2 medium heavy with a Ardent Vertex, and it was just a good all around combo. I threw that with bladed jigs, spinner baits, some crankbaits. It was overall just a really good lure for me. But that rod combo was just the best. And then now I get to the top two. Now, this right here, I'm going to say it's two, even though this was probably my most important lure this year. And that is just stick bait, particularly June bug. This was the probably my best color. Next would be green pumpkin. But my best two finishes this year came from this guy. And this is a lure I haven't caught a fish on in a decade. I literally just never threw it. I didn't care for the action. I don't like fishing slow. But I decided to pick it up when I was fishing this really clear lake up in Michigan. And I caught like 10 bass. And I'm like, okay, there's something to this. And I took it back home. And this is the lure I won my first tournament on. Was just stick bait. And I threw it all day. I Texas rigged it, wacky rigged it without a weight, and it did wonders for me. Didn't catch too many big fish. I think the biggest fish I caught on it all year was 17 inches, but it was a lot of fun nonetheless. Oh, I take it back. I did catch that almost 4-pounder at Maumee Bay a few weeks ago. I caught it on Texas rig. But most of the fish I caught on it were at mid-size, not very big. And that leads to number one. And it was number one because of it keeping me from skunking in many tournaments. And it's number one because it caught the most fish. Probably over half of the bass and pike I caught this year was on the spinnerbait. No real surprise if you watch any of my videos. You know I throw a spinnerbait a lot. It's just one of those versatile lures you can use in the spring, the summer, and the fall. You can use it in a variety of cover situations. You can use it in a variety of clarity. You just change the color. It's one of those things that it's always worked well for me ever since I started kayak fishing. It's just been kind of a staple. And as far as the blades go, the willow leafs this year, I think ultimately were the best ones. Had my best finishes with a willow leaf. And then color, I did pretty good with anything with like a white or gray. I had one day I was throwing a chartreuse spinnerbait. That worked out pretty well. Typically, I don't like to throw as bright colors with a spinnerbait because a lot of water I fish is not super muddy. But it just kind of depends on the conditions. So those are my top, let's see, 5 lures. Like I only caught fish on about 10 lures, so it's really not that all that crazy. But I get to the giveaway portion. So if you're still on, at one point there was like 7 people on, but might have just been bots. Anyhow, anyone that's on live right now, and then anyone that's watching this video, you all have a chance at winning a prize. So part of this reason I did this video is that one of my companies I used to pro staff for actually is going out of business. So it's kind of depressing because I really like their stuff, but that's just the way things are kind of right now. It's unfortunate, but the good news is that I did find another company that I'm going to start pro staffing for lure-wise, and I'll do a video on that once I get some of their stuff in coming up. Just do a regular video, not a live. But that being said, I got some things I'm going to just give away to whoever finds my comment. And when I say find my comment, I commented on one of my recent, well, not recent, let me rephrase this. On one of my kayak tournament videos, specifically, I left a comment and it said, hey, live stream, here it is, like that kind of thing. You just have to find what video that is, comment on my comment, just reply to it. And whoever the first 2 people to reply to that comment are, I'm going to send you out a good amount of baits. So I got some stuff I want to get rid of as I get towards the end of the fall. Most of them will be like untouched, like I didn't use them. So just be whoever that is, find my comment that says, hey, live stream. I commented in one of my tournament videos. So from Any of my videos where it specifically says like this is a kayak bass tournament, you got to find it. So that's where I'll leave off. Thanks for hopping on for anyone that joined. But remember, first 2 people to comment and find it, I'll do it by time notification. I'll send you some lures. And in order to claim it, just hit me up on Instagram at MR Fishing Ohio. And if you don't have that, just comment and we'll figure something out. All right. See you guys. Maybe. Okay, there we go.